Hi everybody, it's Gazer and I've got another development update for you. It's been a couple of weeks since I did the last update. Lots of improvements in this one over what I last showed. Lots of little fixes and some quite important additions actually gone into the game with some help from the guys at the EAB. They're always a helpful bunch. So I'll just run you through where we're up to now, and what I'm going to do in this development update, I'm actually going to show you quite a bit more detail of how I've done things. So I'm going to show you a demo of where we are, and then I'm going to explain the tools that's used to actually do it, and it should be quite interesting actually. But let's give it a go. So I'll show you what we've got. So the first thing I've been working on, the first thing I worked on was doing the sprite clipping. That's all now sorted out because that needed doing. So now I can move sprites off screen into borders, which is good. But what I've also done and been working on is the drones. So as you can see, the drones are going around now, and they're doing that automatically without me playing it. And I'm going to kind of explain how I've done that, because I looked at a couple of ways to do it and kind of settled on a way that was mentioned quite a while ago. You can see some of the collisions are still not right because I need to work on them, but roughly it's starting to look like a bit of a game. So like I say, it's in all the drones are configured at the minute, all the scores are updating. You can even collect the spanners and the points. All that's working. You can even crash into these little barriers here, and the little flags are going there, and the first car to get to the third lap will win the game. So the yellow drone there has actually won. And I've done lots of little fixes as well, as you're going to see. So what I'm going to do is just configure the game so that I can play. So I can take any one of these cars and take control of them. So let's have a go. So all I'm going to do is just change this here. So I'll take control of the blue car. Just change that to player. That means I've got to pick up my trusty Sega pad. I have no idea what's happened there, but that obviously hasn't started emulation for some reason. But let's try that again. That sounds a bit better and looks a bit better. So I'm going to race the drones now. So I'm the blue car, and I can go around the track. And I collected the spanner there, so it's starting to look like a bit of a game. Oh man, crashed. I can bounce off stuff. And as well as just show you the sprite clipping, so I can jump off the track. And I should get the helicopter pop across. The helicopter's not placed properly, but it's put me back to the right place. I've got some kind of panel update issues which are going on, which I know what the problem is. It's just more of a performance thing, why it's flashing at the minute. But essentially it is a game that's just about working now. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'll just show you. I'll just take control of the yellow car as well. So I'll just show you that. And I haven't actually tried crashing the yellow car yet, so it'll probably not work. Just show you, game's quite buggy at the minute, as you would expect, really, with this development at the minute. So yeah, so I'm using the keys there. Oh, my turbo on. I've got the keys on, and I'm using the keyboard to actually go around. The car's collisions are working, which is good. Avoid that there. So I'll try making them jump off the bridge. Oh, that's working. So I probably need to change the colour. So I need to change the colour of the helicopter when the car kind of jumps off the bridge. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. All the scores updated, which is really nice. All those boring bits in the game, that's that take absolutely ages to do, you know. So there's some, it's got a couple of performance issues which I know about, but apart from that, I'm really quite happy with it. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you how I've done the drones. Maybe give you a bit of an overview of, you know, of what this track is actually made up. So my initial thought was to do the drones and just plot the X and Y coordinates in a circuit around the track. But then it started to kind of dawn on me that what happens if the drone actually crashes into something? I've then got to code some sort of like routine to actually get it back onto the circuit, and that could become quite complicated. So what I did was quite a bit easier actually. So this is the tool I use to actually do a lot of the logic in the game, and this is like the blank track that I'm looking at here. So we've got a lower and upper track as part of the game. So if we just hide the upper track, we'll see what it looks like. Now, at certain positions in the game, what will happen is the car will switch to the upper track and the lower track, and that's configured via, let me have a look. Let's have a look. It is the collision. That's not, it is the commands. Yeah, so what these commands do, when the car goes around the track, what the 40 to 41, 42, anything above 40, well, 40 to 5F, I think it is, or 7F, I should say, is designed to track the position of the cars. So if the car goes kind of past 41, 42, and then up and around, let me just add the rest of them. So there they are. So if the car goes around 41, 42, 43, you know, and up and around, that is the checkpoints. So we've got 40, 45, yeah, it's quite a bit hard to see. 47 there, 48, 49. Now if the car misses one of those checkpoints and happens to skip it, for whatever reason, then really it hasn't completed a full lap. So the car has to pass. Each car has to pass those checkpoints going around the track. And what just to explain what the 20s do, so the ones in the blue. So I'll just highlight those again. Let me bring those up. So the ones in the blue, so all these, so the 20 through to 3F, those change the elevation of the car. So when it goes to 21, it sends the car from the lower track to the upper track, and when you go to 21, to 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, it'll increment the kind of elevation or the altitude of where the car is, so it knows how far to drop if it goes off the edge here. So that's how I'm doing. So this is actually a ramp that goes up, and then we go across this little bridge, and then you'll see the 25, 24, 23, 22, 21 come back down, and then the car's back on the lower track. So the 21s are kind of special. They say go up, and the 21 AXs go down. So the car goes all the way around, and then if it completes a lap, so it gets to here 53, the lap's completely done. So that should explain that bit. So if I just hide them. And the next bit I'll probably show you is the collision maps. So just show you what these look like. So let me just take off the top one. So this is the collision kind of. The car has to be, in order for a collision to register, it has to be off off this purple here. So it actually has to be, you know, on the green. And then what it does is the car then looks for more. The car then looks for more information in order to know what to react to, and that information is in this terrain. So when I overlay the terrain, so if the car hits a 7 and it's off the track, it'll rebound off in a particular way if it's going north. If it's going south, it'll rebound off because it hit an 8 and rebound off back north, and we've got a 5 and we've got a 6. Now these here are not really working properly at the minute. I've got quite a few bugs with them, but it's kind of getting there. They just need to be tweaked. It's part of the reason why you're kind of seeing cars go through. There'll be situations where you'll see cars go through these barriers that I've set up, these terrain barriers, and I just need to work on it really. So when I add the upper collision map, you'll see that's been added in there. Okay, and then if I put the terrain on as well, you'll see a whole lot of this. Now I'll just take this off. So what we're going to be doing is looking at the upper terrain, and this is what the upper terrain looks like here. And you'll see there's lots of ears, 0 ears, and that means when the car goes off the track, i.e. off this bridge, if there's a 0 ear, it means drop the elevation on the car, or drop the altitude on the car. So the altitude that it gained by going up this ramp here, if the car goes off and it hits an ear, then it'll drop and then eventually explode onto the racetrack below. So that's the idea. It's working quite well up to now. Probably a few tweaks, but that's pretty much how that's working. And then obviously I've got some barriers here that it can't go around. These all really need tweaking, to be fair. Now the interesting bit, that's the stuff that I've covered previously. But the interesting bit is how I've done the drones, and this was a suggestion from Dan Scott, and works really quite well. So if we take a look and select I'm just going to put the guides on. I need to brighten those up. There you go. So I'll just try and yeah. So just to explain what this is doing, I'm going to bring across another kind of piece of the jigsaw, I guess. And what happens is that if the cars are drawn, it'll read these byte codes here, and each of these byte codes determine a direction that the car moves in, and those are just fed directly into the joystick routine that I had set up for the normal player car. And so what you've got here, if the car's hitting a B0, what we do is we look on this kind of this circle and look for the direction. So the B0 here, the direction it's going to go in, so it means that the drone is going to move in this direction, to the right or east. And if there's an EF, that means it's there. So what will happen is the car's kind of going to start here, and then it's going to drift into the middle until it gets a B0, or if it's a B1, which is here, it's going to drift into the middle until it gets to this point here. Now, these points here, the 9Fs just mean to slow the car down. So the BFs means speed up. The 9Fs, which is hex 20 below, means slow the car down. And then we've got these BFs here, which should say, right, go in this direction. So you can see it's going up this ramp. So as you can imagine, the car will be going at speed, and then all of a sudden it gets these BFs, and then it just starts to send it in this direction here. And then what we'll have is, once it's gone over the ramp, we'll just bring the guides up for that and shut those off. So it's gone up the ramp, it will start reading these B8s. So I'll just bring the guide up, and there you go, B8s, and around it goes. Really, it just the drones just follow that track all the way around to the direction. It takes the byte codes and then just feeds it into the direction that the cars need to go into. Really simple stuff, really nice and easy. And I just had to feed that into the joystick routines, and I could actually show you how straightforward it was. I've got a routine here. Apologies, this will be quite technical. But we've got a control car, which is called for each of the cars, and this is the routine here that I needed to add, this highlighted code. And it's basically saying if the car's not a drone, then it'll just read the joystick input that was read here. If it is a drone, then it makes a call to this control drone, I should say, and then just feeds the bytecodes into the joystick left, joystick right, and accelerate. And that's all it does. Really, really easy to implement that, and I was really pleased with it. So there you go. Another development update on SuperSprint. Really pleased with progress. Got some nasty bugs out the way as well. Sprite clip-ins I'm over the moon with. Just need to work on the panel as well, and performance in particular on that. And then I really need to hone down the collisions. That, that's really something I need to get to. That'll be the last part that I'm working on, because I need to spend the most time on it. And I'm hoping to just do it gradually. But yeah, I think the game's going to be ready. Maybe it's next 4 to 6 weeks, I think. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the update, and I'll see you in the next one.